Hi folks, and welcome back to the Star Wars Library, where Star Wars is in print. And today we're going to be talking about a novel, and it's called The Truce of Bakura by Kathy Tyers. Very excited to talk about this one. This one came out November 1st of 1993, and this is a big one. This is not a prequel story. This is not after the Thrawn trilogy. This is the day after Return of the Jedi. That's when this starts. So, day after the Battle of Endor, and an Imperial probe droid almost kills Wedge Antilles in this story, but of course he is saved by Luke Skywalker. So this droid contains a distress call for the Emperor from the Governor Willek Nesserus, I think is how you pronounce it, of Bakura. And so they're under attack by reptilian Cyrach. Again, I think how you pronounce it. So since the Empire's defeat, they're not going to intervene here. So Luke is then urged by Obi-Wan Kenobi, or his Force Ghost, to do something about it. So Luke volunteers an Alliance task force to go and save Bakura. Han and Leia will also accompany Luke as well. More so for diplomacy than for anything else here. So eventually they get on the planet, they get to Bakura. During a whole thing, Luke will stop the attacks that are happening, and ultimately an unofficial truce is established with Peter Thanes, an Imperial Navy commander. And so Leia will then address the Bakuran Senate, and basically she and Luke are exposed to Deb Sibara, again, I think is how you pronounce it. Some of these names are a little woo, but is a Force sensitive who is serving the Sirach. And so that's kind of what's going on here. So during the course of this novel, there's some major things that happen. Luke will fall for Senator Gabriel Capison, and basically reveals the historic first truce between the Alliance and the Empire. So those are some big things that'll happen, and so that's kind of a big deal. Luke is, at least in a novel, in this, age of continuity where Lucasfilm is being a lot more strict with their continuity. You're seeing Luke kind of truly fall for someone in a C canon source versus a secondary canon source like we saw in Danny Queen, the Marvel books. So there's that. The other big thing that happens in this that was always kind of a standout for me, and I feel like not a lot of people talk about it, but for me this was kind of a standout, was Anakin Skywalker appears. He appears as a Force Ghost to Leia, and basically this leads to her realizing that Bakura joined the Empire, and ultimately this will lead to the defeat of the Empire at Bakura, officially, and they'll officially join the Alliance, which in a year from now, in 5 ABY, the Alliance will officially become the New Republic. And so there's some really cool things here. Seeing this really cool, kind of the day after, which is kind of cool. You're seeing the after effects, like Luke is, still kind of like, ooh, that lightning from the Emperor hurt, and he's dealing with that. You start to see Han and Leia kind of start to explore their relationship a little bit more now that they're kind of, moving past all this Alliance stuff. Now it's kind of a beginning of a new era, I guess you could call it. And of course, seeing Leia, see Anakin, and her trying to, still accept the fact that, that, hey, he's my biological dad, So there's a lot of cool things here. We get to see some cool things with Luke kind of sharing some things with the Force with Dev. Really good content in here. It's a great read. In fact, well, let's answer this. Is this book an essential read for your Expanded Universe reading? Yeah, I would say absolutely yes. This book is definitely essential. It is truly, I think, the beginning of the post Return of the Jedi era. That's always been my favorite era in Star Wars. I love the New Republic, New Jedi Order, Legacy era of Star Wars. I love that whole time period from pretty much here to Jedi, or from here up to Legacy the best. So I think that this is great. It's a great stepping stone if you're just, you've seen the movies and now you just kind of want to go into the EU. You don't want to have to do any like prequel stuff or original trilogy or Old Republic stuff. You want to, kind of see what happened next. This is a great entry point. In fact, I would say that the Truce of Bakura is a good alternate starting point if you don't want to do the Thrawn trilogy. If you want to, truly go in chronological order, start here and then work your way up to the Thrawn trilogy. I think there's some good stuff, and this is a great entry point for new readers, and it's definitely a good point for Star Wars books if you don't want to do the Thrawn trilogy or you've already read it and you want to get back into it. And yeah, I think that it's kind of an underrated book. I think it's one that people don't talk about as much, but I do think it is really great, and it's definitely one of the best from the Bantam era. So folks, that's all the time I have for today, and I will see you next time with another episode of the Star Wars Library.